Absolute morons.
You've got people doing that.
Yeah, what's on, people? The insiders are back. Myself and Daz, the famous duo. We're here again recording, and tonight's going to be a fun one. We've got
Maybe even
what
infamous.
infamous is a better word. Absolutely. And we've got quite a fun one tonight. We'll pretty much dive straight into some Chopes predictions, some top five end of the season predictions, like WSL stuff, and then have a little bit of a chat about what else is going on in the world. How are you, Darren?
I'm pretty good. I'm looking at setting up. I need some sort of marketing executive assistant to help me set up a worldwide shitty Bluetooth connection protest.
All right, yeah.
The other day I was driving along and my Bluetooth off my phone, I think, because I was in a different car, hooked up with my other car that was in front of me.
You should get them to do your Bluetooth and your Zoom problems all in one.
I'm all right with Zoom. I just don't like the little I's and J's and S's and fives. But Bluetooth's honestly, it's the spurn of my existence, which just shows that it's a Western world problem. Huh? What did we
Yeah.
call it? It's first world problem.
First world problem, Western world problem, and the rest.
The other first world problem we've got is that the initial excitement for Tahiti is slowly fading to fun waves, but not what the doctor ordered.
Is that the call on the forecast, is it?
That's what I'm hearing from my little sparrows.
I saw a quick video of Ethan Ewing there today, and it's pretty small for Chopes for
Good
Tahiti.
to see he's there. Well, you wouldn't call 6 days early when you're coming into a world title
Yeah,
showdown, would you? You'd just call it normal.
yeah, normal, especially with the travel that I mean, because you'd obviously have to get there, I suppose it's a pretty. What's the flight from Australia like? I don't know if you know, but
No, I don't know.
um, but I
Still a bit
imagine
of a distance. Still a bit of a distance. But what else has he got to do, honestly?
exactly. But yeah, get there early or get there, in advance. But it did in the clip. It did look a little bit fun sized, as you'd say.
Mm. Well,
But
I'd
have you
I'd
checked
kiss
any
I'd kiss
forecast?
my old grandmother's feet to have a crack at those fun sort of size days there.
Oh, for sure. I mean, even that looked like it would be pretty, for a normal person, looked like it'd be still pretty intimidating.
You'd have to think that a condition like that is just slowly but surely creeping into Gabrielle's favour, would you? Front side,
Oh,
small Chopu. Um,
I don't know. There's a forecast where it looks. I'm just looking at the forecast now, and it's classic, absolutely how the WSL has had it all year. So tomorrow is meant to be 10 to 15 foot at 15 seconds. Monday's meant to be 8 to 12 foot at 14 seconds. And then it starts on the 11th, and that's meant to be 4 to 6 foot, and
yeah,
then 4 to 6 foot afterwards. So your prediction could be, or yeah, your prediction could be right about
it's not
perfect.
really my prediction. Huh? I'm just looking at the maps, and not even the maps. I can't read maps. I don't care about maps. That's what we well, now I finally subscribe to an unnamed because I'm not giving them any publicity. But I had a look, and that's what they're calling. And also Swellnet, who I don't subscribe to, but they have a guy that wrote a bit of a long-term forecast a few days ago, and it said that he sounded like he had the finger on the pulse that there was weather pattern was some sort of low pressure or high pressure system down off New Zealand that was going to stop or ease any sort of potential double overhead swell. So they're just not going to get one.
No, that's
But we've
very
been wrong.
interesting though.
We've been wrong before, as they have.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be a surprise if the WSL pick the waiting period where it is the smallest waves, and then before and after it pumps.
No, it's August. Like I've, I've been watching it there since like I can't remember when, but it's sometimes you score, sometimes you don't. We all know that.
For sure, same with anywhere. But it just seems like the WSL's luck this year that they've like pipe January is the best time ever. Best time each year for pipe, and they absolutely skunked it this year. Um, Same as pretty much every other spot
What's your
this year.
call on? I'm pretty keen on Jack with his smaller structure, stumpy legs, and backside tube side wizardry. What do you think about that, Matt?
So yeah, I think Jack is a really good call, especially after seeing what he was like in G-Land last year, where it was a little bit smaller than everybody wanted, and he won it. And his wave choice really comes into play. I think with John goes back to that situation of does he even want to get out of bed in the morning for that style of wave or not? And it's the type of wave, I don't know why, but you see John get injured in these waves quite a lot. So I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
potentially he's going to have to be down. He's going to have to be squeaking, which so's Jack, who injured his knee earlier this season and an ankle. So who knows? But I mean,
Is Felipe the
really,
happiest man in the world right now?
yeah, and he goes not bad, and but I don't think it's tiny either. Huh? I
No,
think
it's saying 4 to 6 foot with a good period. So
it's looking 4 foot, good 4 foot, good like a couple kind of perfect. So somewhere that it'll still be fantastic to watch because sometimes when
yeah,
it's bigger, like don't get me wrong, a million times I'd prefer it to have been 8 to 10 foot. Like so, it's just fantastic. But then sometimes the wave wins.
yeah, I completely agree. I do agree actually quite heavily. And I also think when it comes into this size, it makes it a lot less predictable, which is quite fun. In terms of the heats, if it's that 8 to 10 foot range, you probably have got four people like John, Jack, Gabby, and Jarochenko would probably be my top four picks if it's pumping backside tubes like at Chopes.
Connor, Connor.
Yeah, but he wouldn't. He'd probably be like the next step down. I think I would still be surprised if Connor won it.
Oh, I'd be surprised. I reckon. See, on that side, I reckon Connor and Ryan Callahan are just incredible. But when think about Ryan Callahan, I reckon he could win it. And I think Carly Vast, if he gets through there, could win it as well.
I don't think Collie's going to get in because they've done. It depends how they do it because they've done
These
wild
are the
cards.
trials.
Well, yeah. If they did, well, yeah. If he wins the trials, then yeah. Because the wild card is going to be the highest ranked. Are they going to do the highest ranked French surfer? If so, it's not Collie Vast. If they do the highest ranked Tahitian surfer,
Who is it if it's the French surfer? Is it Joanne?
no, it's I think the highest ranked French surfer on the QS is Jorgen. Is it
Jorgen
Jorgen
Kusner.
Kuzno? Yeah, think it's him.
I think if it's a Changers, I think after this, it could be Joanne.
Oh
He
yeah,
made it through
actually
a
with
few
the
heats.
US, yes, correct. But I don't think
Joanne's a
it's
good.
Carly Vast.
Joanne's pretty good out there.
Yeah, for sure. He so and then obviously women's side, this makes it really interesting for people like Katie Simmers. I think rockets to the top of like very, very likely to do well. She's very good in a tube, especially like a
I
smaller
reckon
one.
Katie, and Molly hold. Yes, mate. Where's your what? up on the table there, or I brought it back from the. It's somewhere there. You must have taken it since. I went back to work. I brought it back from the park. So I'm in the middle of my podcast. You'll have to wait. Okay? Yeah, I think Katie and Molly.
Yeah, and I also think for me, I've like on my fantasy surfer stuff, I made sure I've got Tatiana in there because I think she's good and it's going to be front side for her in those smaller waves.
I just don't
Um,
know. I honestly don't think she's got any sort of barrel riding technique, but we'll soon see. I'd like to see Vahini out there. I've already said that. I can't see any other. I can't even think of any other goofy footer on the tour.
Caroline Marks.
Okay, Caroline Marks. Actually, I'm going to rocket her into. She's my favorite. Come on, Caroline. She's really good, and she did a little video there a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Potentially Carissa as well, but I think Caroline might have the advantage because, like, I think she's got like 5 times better tube technique than Tats.
Well, Carissa, the thing with Carissa that I
Sorry, Tats, who's got an incredible backhand Rio when the surf gets bigger. Like, I think
yeah
she really takes other people out in that, but.
with
Tube
Carissa,
riding's intuitive.
mm, with what you say about Carissa is like when all that I've seen of her of pipe is that she goes back door a lot. She likes the front side barrel ride, so I don't know if she'll be very good at the backside side of it. But um, yeah, I think I think Katie, Molly, and Tatiana are my picks, and I do think Caroline Marks is a good pick because of the front side situation. Um,
I don't understand why they're struggling when they've all got great coaches. I don't understand why they struggle with their front foot on a backhand tube riding thing because to not let the cat out of the bag. Like, I mean, Medina's one of the person who doesn't do it because he probably doesn't need to. He's probably really flexible in his hips. But basically, on your leading foot backside, you just put it straight. It no longer is in a like a surfing position. It goes straight, like if you're on a side saddle.
yeah,
And that's what rotates your whole hips and everything around. That's why you see the dudes will stall with their bum in the wall and everything because their front foot's straight over on the middle of the stringer and sometimes even on the other side. And you just notice a lot of the time, the ladies or guys that struggle backside tube riding is they don't put their
yeah.
foot straight.
Yeah, I think you're right, and you see them get a lot more open chested with that front foot position as well. I don't, I do agree though as well. Like, why are they not working on that? Even at the it's funny. Even at the ranch,
Of
um,
course,
Kelly's wave pool, like they should be hitting him up and saying, and like I know like urban surf, I know like Molly went there at the pool and stuff. You can get some repetitive training that you don't have to be throwing yourself off of the ledge at chopes to train that technique. So
well,
yeah.
we'll soon see.
So
The more
who,
barrel riding you get a chance at doing, like I just don't know. Jeez, it would just be my dream to have that sort of money and no real commitments apart from going to places like that.
mm. So go on. Who are you picking to win men's and women's and a dark horse to like semi-final or better?
Gabrielle, Caroline Marks, backside, dark horse, Ethan,
Yeah,
and I don't think there is any dark horses on the women's side. Maybe Joanne Defay. Is she in it?
she's in it. Yeah,
Yeah, she can.
she's
She's not too
wronged it.
bad on a left reef break. I would have put Sally Fitz up there. You see, sorry, just insert. You see, Sally Fitz is smashing them on the Changas.
Yeah,
I told you,
yeah. She's going nuts,
she's
and
just a tenacious bulldog, mate. With
yeah,
with incredible athletic ability and confidence in herself.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be weird because I still think if she requalifies that she'll be in trouble with if the cut stays around. But okay,
I don't think the cut's gonna stay around, Matt. I think it's gone
I hope so.
next year. I don't think Ziff knows what any of it means.
Yeah, weird. But I'll go my winners and dark horses as such. Um, I'm gonna go with what the thing is, I want to say Gabby, and I wanted to say something different to you, but I do think Gabby's going to win it. Um, and then for the ladies, I think that Katie Simmons is going to win it. And then dark horse for the men's, I'm going to go dark horse as Griffin Colapinto, which is
Oh,
weird, but
great pick.
I think he's going to be a bit of a dark
Great
horse.
pick. Fantastic backside tube rider.
Yeah. And then it is hard to pick a dark horse for the women. So I think, I think Joanne's a really good pick. I wasn't going to say her, but because I hadn't even thought of it, but I think that's a good pick. And I think if like Vahine gets in, then
I don't think she's a dark horse. I think she goes straight to being a favourite.
very true. Yeah.
I don't think Steph's going to make the semis, so she's not in the finals this year from the looks of things.
Mm. She needs a good result, and Katie needs to have a terrible one. And I can't see that happening.
And is Tahiti the real winner here? Because if it's just perfect fun size stuff, that's perfect advertisement for the Olympics.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even though the Olympics will just be macking just to put everyone off. You'd
Hope
think
so.
that could happen, wouldn't it?
How mad, like just now that's kind of a perfect segment because WSL, the event's done. There's our predictions. Crack on. How mad would it be, like, if you've got some countries that are in the Olympics that surfers who had never even seen a wave like that, and then they've got to go and paddle out, and if it's like macking and got to go and represent your country.
Well, I had one of my partners from work say that to me not long when they pulled it. He thought it was a bad idea and everything. He was like, "It's not fair. It's not fair. What about kids who've never seen waves like that?" Well, what about the Tahitian kids and the Indonesian kids who've never been able to scrap around on crappy beach breaks, so they don't have any technique for that? When's their chance to have an advantage?
Yeah,
Now. That's
I,
how I see it.
I completely agree, but I just think more not advantage or disadvantage. I think more like
Well, there'll just be some
um
zeros.
well, I
Full
was gonna
stop.
say like
They'll get zeros.
televised it'll be like televised like not paddling for waves and like
Well, what
it
do you
could
get?
really like it could
Like
really like
everyone has to do the men's downhill at the Olympics.
yeah, true, yeah.
That's 100K an hour down a hill on a couple of skis with a little bit of lycra and a helmet.
Yeah, for sure.
What about the ski jump? Eddie the Eagle.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah, there's no like I don't sympathize. Like I don't feel sympathetic towards him or anything. I just think it's gonna be quite
Yeah, yeah. Well, it'll be an adventure. Oh,
interesting.
come on. We've got a
But
whole year to wait. I don't want to. I'm not looking forward to it anyway. I don't want to be a year older.
I didn't really watch too much of the last Olympics, to be fair. So
I didn't see a thing.
no,
I think the whole thing. I think the Olympics is a sold idea.
yeah,
It used to be amateur sport, didn't it?
it used to be. Yeah, it used to be. It had to be only amateur. Like you can't like it still is a mix as well. Like a professional boxer can't take part in the Olympics boxing, which is weird as well.
What about soccer players?
Yeah, they can. Yeah, yeah. You can rock up and play.
Hmm. All
It
right.
is
Chopu's been
strange.
sewed up. Did you watch any? Because I know you're a Star Premium dude. Did you watch any of the drive-through thing? Am
Stab.
am I just really old? I guess I am.
I watched Stab Highway.
Thought it
Yes.
was a bit childish, but that's because I am. I'm hot.
I think you can very much tell that the waves were flat. um and that the waves were starting to get really bad because the challenges then started to become really kind of clutching at straws to make it some kind of entertainment. But I think it's cool to see Sam Peter in there. We had his dad Didier on, and Sam's on it, which is that's cool as, and it's quite cool to see, knowing the area and stuff, and it's obviously where you are. I think that's quite cool. But um, yeah, I kind of like you watch it and you want to see more surfing, really. But they did
Even
get
though it's not really supposed to be really about just surfing, it's more about camaraderie and teammanship. It's not too bad. It's just I just
I do like it. What I would like,
it's just kind of like when you like who was I talking to this about the other day? Um, Succession was an incredible TV series. I told you about that.
yeah,
House of Cards, and we were talking about another one, and I can't remember which one it was, but like it's like they Suits. I watched that
I
years
love
ago, which
Suits.
wasn't too bad, but then they run out of ideas. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, like
One
it starts to
series too
repeat
many, and
itself.
it just becomes lame.
Yeah, I agree. Talking about stab, have you watched the How Surfers Get Paid series 2, episode 1?
Oh yeah, that was one of the really, really good things to watch, wasn't it?
That's
And interesting.
so interesting. I love that. Like for me, that whole series could be on Netflix, like, and it would be way more successful than the Ultimate Surfer ever was, or anything
Or
like
make
that.
or break.
Yeah, or Make or Break. Yeah, absolutely. Um,
Twiggy's just an absolute unit, isn't he?
it's just so sick. Like the whole thing is just like I had no idea that it was that kind of situation and deal, and like that he just found a way, surfed it for a few years on his own um with Greg Long,
Yep.
and then decided to just sell it, and Kelly didn't want them. I mean, it's quite a big mistake from Kelly, looking at the numbers and stuff, to say no to it or not reply to
Oh, it
him.
was
And then
unreal. That it was unreal when that came out, and they picked really good music too, and
yeah,
probably the best surfer you can pick.
for that style of wave, cheek,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, but yeah, if anyone hasn't watched How Surfers Get Paid, series 1 or series 2, or Stab
I
Highway, I
mean,
think that
I mean, not in Australia because he's just really high profile, Mick. But are we now kind of starting to see the effects of a career finished with Mick? You know what I mean?
uh
Like at first they're off tour. He went pretty well. Like I think he's got a lifetime sponsorship with Rip Curl. He's still really high profile with them. But
yeah.
how long can you keep? I mean, Dane's nearly managed it.
Yeah, well,
Uh,
with Mick, I know that from listening to Ain't That Swell, he's just filmed something with Gabby and Mason that's going to be coming out,
oh well, that'll be good.
which sounds good. And but also I think with Mick, like he's he's got his fingers in a lot of pies, hasn't he? In terms of like he's obviously got other businesses, and
Sponsored by everyone.
yeah, and I think, and also he's got still got a young
But we're
kid.
not seeing. I'm just saying we're not seeing really. We're not seeing any edits coming out or much
No.
surfing and stuff like that, as opposed to like Twiggy, who was in that video, who's who's 10 years older than Mick, and who's
Mm.
still really quite high profile with what he sort of
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
It is death defying what he's doing as well, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I agree. I'd like to see more of Mick surfing. He done the electric acid thing with Stab and stuff, but I would like to see a few more bits. But this Rip Curl thing sounds like it's going to be pretty good with Gabby and Mace, so and Mick obviously, which would be pretty cool. Um, I haven't actually seen it yet, but have you seen the new Quicksilver film, Repeater.
Yes, repeater, epic.
Yeah, I've yet to watch it, but
Epic. Mikey Wright goes bananas. A few other
mm,
dudes. Carl Walsh, Griffin's in it in West Australia. They got a really good section in Reunion with some barrels and big airs. They got where else they got? I won't say. Everyone watch it. It's really really good. What's
I think
funny
I'm gonna have to
is
watch it.
uh like Kanoa's not in it.
Yeah,
Stab did a top 50 popular surfers not long ago. I can't remember to see where Kanoa came in. Leo didn't make the top 50, no longer with Quickie. Were they
yeah,
right? Huh?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
are these guys? I'm just quickly go from this to that. Sorry, but are these guys on the tour on that stuck now in this format, which before they thought was fantastic and is actually now kind of like a dead horse because the way it got set
Mm.
up.
I just think there's like I think other than Griffin Colapinto at the moment, and weirdly a little bit John, they're just so unrelatable. Like so unrelatable. Like every interview they do, I could tell you what they're going to say before they do the interview. Like I quite like Conor O'Leary and Jackson Baker and stuff because they've got personality about them and they're a little bit rough around the edges and stuff and they're not as polished. Whereas, like Philippe, Gabby, Italo, Ethan, um, like and a lot of the others are just Kanoa especially as well. They're so polished and so like programmed that I want to see them do a heat interview and be like, oh yeah, like
Speak their mind, you're basically saying.
yeah, like oh that was like
Which is why I brought it up because, like, if if I had the power to hire and fire, like tomorrow I'd get rid of Joe Turpel in a heartbeat. Um, Probably pull the trigger on a bunch of those other people there because it's just like ridiculous and bad commentary. Like sometimes I saw in the last event where I forget who it was, but he bogged a rail at the end of the turn and went up for a turn and like kind of flicked off the back, but didn't mean to originally. And Joe's like, he's chosen to take off that wave. Well, it's not true what he's saying. Do you know what I
yeah.
mean? Have you seen that? It's not true what they're saying. They're saying
I
stuff that's
I
not
agree.
true.
It's also a bit
Just
like
to
the suits analogy that you said about and stuff as well. Is they say the same thing every event every year.
rid of them, sack them, get rid of
That's
them
what I thought.
now.
I thought the commentary in J-Bay was actually better than most of the other year. I thought Paul Evans was really good. I
Oh, he's
thought
great.
I thought Pete Mel was really, really good. And um
Maybe Strider's getting a little bit better. I'll keep Strider's. He's pretty good.
I think
Mitch
Strider in the
Salazar
booth.
Mitch Salazar in the US Open, right? We were just watching. I told you to wait on because there was an Aussie. He said Kanoa spoke 8 languages.
Yeah.
It's a blatant lie. Okay, it's a blatant lie. Let's. I'll put it on paper. I want this proven with fact. I know he speaks Japanese. We've all seen it. I know he speaks really good English. I know he speaks Portuguese. He had a Portuguese girlfriend, lives in Portugal for a lot of time. I don't know how good his Portuguese is. I'll ask my mate Josie, but I know he doesn't speak 8 languages. Maybe like fluently. Like that's like saying me. Because I can say Guten Tag if he gets. Meine Name ist Darren, and I can also say dos cerveza, por favor, señor. But it doesn't mean I speak Spanish because
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
say 4 sentences. And that's
100%.
the sort of dribble they're giving us.
Yeah.
Falseness. I want
I
the truth.
I agree. I don't really think I listened to Mitch Salazar in El Salvador and thought his commentary was awful. Um, and I think Strider, you said about Strider should be in the booth, not on the board in the water. Because when he's in the
Yeah,
booth, he's got a
he's
much better
good.
breakdown, 100%.
And Paul is like a real commentator who's listen to like cricketing commentating and all these things where they know where to build their tone up. Like if the
Yeah.
heat's getting exciting and someone's taken off, he'll increase his tone, like what a really good rugby league or
Yeah.
a
Do you know?
commentator does. And
Do
the
you know what
cricket
I thought?
commentators, fantastic.
What I thought Paul was really good at is he didn't the day it was pumping, he didn't need to oversell anything. The waves were good enough, so he just kept it simple, commentated on the waves, called out what the surfers were doing, lined up what it was in the heat. But he didn't try and build up like, oh, this has world title implications, this or that, this or that. He kind of let the waves shine, which I thought was really, really cool of his commentary. And it it was better because you're not hearing someone kind of trying to make something up about a wave. It was just,
But misclaimer, because I'm mates with him and we surf a lot together. But I told him this year, and I don't know if he follows up. I think he does that anyway. I said, just fucking give us the information on the heat. Actually, commentate the heat
yeah,
instead of rubbish and lies. Like, you need that score. That's what you need, basically. They're sitting there, two people, they need two scores that adds up to the winner.
yeah.
So let us know how that's going on in the heat. And also their production crew cutting off 1 minute ago. They just cut, like they put the top 10 of something over the top of George Pittar while he was catching a wave. Surely
Did,
that's not
did he win?
hard. No, he didn't. He got beaten by Kanoa. Gutted.
Oh, well,
I don't want to spend my whole and also our loyal listeners' lives listening to dribble.
no.
So my do, Matt, is do suck the commentary team on the WS, and my other one is don't give up on the weather. It's raining outside, but I'm not giving up on it, mate.
You
You just gotta
you
just gotta pray for sunshine.
you've got it better than us, so you're in a good position with that. I've got a do and a don't. I've got them written down as well, so I'm good.
Is it
I've seen
misery up there?
Oh yeah, it's absolutely haggis. It's horrible. It's blowing about 50-mile-an-hour wind right now. Um, Sideways rain. But my don't, because I've seen too much of it this weekend and last week as well, is don't put your board on your roof racks the wrong way. Fins face the sky, rocker with the car. Stop putting it where your fins are facing down and your like nose is lifting up. Just don't do it.
Who's doing that? Come off it.
Morons. Absolute morons.
You've got people doing that.
So many, especially with foamies, and like you just see a foamy just going like wah, flapping in the wind. You're like, stop being an idiot.
And the fins obviously then digging into the roof.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like it's
And the
beyond
wax
mental.
melting. The wax melting in your hot tropical sun.
Exactly, exactly. And my do for everyone out there is hunt secondhand bargains for, especially for like fins and board bags and stuff. Like fins are such a great thing to buy secondhand if you can.
Oh, great call, Matty.
And
That's good for the
boards.
planet too. Great call, bro.
That's the
I like
one.
that. Haven't thought of it myself, but I'm gonna.
Yeah, I mean, all of mine are brand new. But if you want to buy some fins, hit me up.
Well,
Easy.
thanks for coming. Au revoir.
Thanks, Des. We'll be back soon. Au revoir.